Welcome to iceHQ rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia for round 9 of the Pro League here at the iceHQ, where this evening we have the ELWD Snipers playing against the CCM Dogs. This is the last round of the regular season. Next week the final start, and this one is a crunch time for both the Snipers and the team playing later this evening, the Inferno. Anton, I'm joined tonight. My name is Carl Brewer, and you're joined by myself with Anton Goss, who is going to take us through his thoughts about what's going to happen this evening.
Yeah, Carl, so as you said it's the final before the final, right? And if you just saw, looking at home, the standings, this is a win-and-you're-in scenario for the Snipers. But they'll have their work cut out for them, right? They're up against the undefeated Dogs.
Yep.
But last time these two played, the Snipers actually put on one of the closest games so far this season. We're actually able to keep that top line of the Dogs off the score sheet in a narrow 2-0 loss.
It was a pretty good one. Kahu Joyce, I think, managed to be the player there who got the goals for the Dogs that evening, and he's back this evening. He was away last week. He's a very important playmaker for the Dogs, so they'll be glad to have him back.
That's for sure. And I think when you look at the Snipers, they've really been improving all season, and I think that's all driven by commitment to team play. And if you look at the points for the Snipers, you know, obviously led often by their captain Webster, but pretty balanced scoring. You know, no one stands up there in the top 5 point getters in the league, but everyone on the team's in between that kind of 5 to 7.
Absolutely.
5 to 7
They've
points
done
there.
an excellent job, and you can see the team's gelled throughout the last 8 weeks of playing too. They started off, to be honest, they were pretty bad, like by comparison to the other teams. They were getting thrashed. First time they played against the Dogs, they went down 10-1, for example, and they got picked off fairly easily. But then they had the early season draft, and they benefited with the addition of Michael McMahon, who we've mentioned many times, and his stabilising influence, as well as just the guys getting to know each other better, has made a massive difference. And I think you might have said it off the record, but I'm going to call you out on it now. You've called the Snipers as winning the series off the record. And to be honest, you know, I think if anyone can beat the Dogs, it'll be the Snipers. It's a big call, but sometimes you've got to make a big call.
Yeah, I reckon, you know, Coach Laver's got them doing what they need to do. They've committed to that team, and I think mixing the experience of some of their veterans with some of their young kids is really starting to pay off. But, you know, on the Dog side, they've got the top scorer, Jamie Burke, Vadim Vrajasov, and it doesn't matter who plays with those two, whether it's Matt Corunna or Ryan Ruddle, they just seem to score goals.
Yep.
And if the Snipers are going to want to win this, they're going to have to get a lead and get a lead early, because what we see is the minute the Dogs get a 1-goal lead or a 2-goal lead and forcing the opposition to stretch out, that's when they really start to beat you. So it'll be exciting to see. I mean, they've got the wonder goalie from last week, right? Mikey James, what did he have? 46 saves, I believe, at the end of it.
Yeah,
so
he was a rubber magnet, that's for sure.
That's for sure. So they know they got that. And to be honest as well, this is what I love about the Snipers. My favorite thing. Most teams, they'll go over to the bench and they'll have a little huddle, but they huddle around their goalie in their house because they got to protect that house, and they're going to have to do that tonight if they're going to make finals and if they're going to beat the CCM Dogs.
They certainly will. Our puck kids out at the moment collecting the pucks. We've got a bit of a family affair this evening. We've got Tom Giles and Angus Hunter who are picking up, and later on we've got Will Giles and Lucas Hunter picking pucks up later. So two sets of siblings doing the puck job for us this evening. But yeah, I think you're right. The Dogs, we were chatting earlier about Jamie Burke. He wears number 22, and he's currently got 22 points and 22 penalty minutes.
Yeah,
so he's not allowed to get any more, otherwise he stuffs up magic numbers.
And that's not bad, right? 22 points for him. I think 21 points for Vadim, and they've only played 8 games.
Yeah,
so
and Vadim's done a fantastic job of those quick passes to Jamie when he gets the breakout from behind any defensive pattern. The Snipers starting off with Sincotta and McMahon in their defensive pairing, up against the first line of the Dogs. And I know I say it every week, but Sincotta's really impressed me with his game, and obviously with the stability and maturity of Michael McMahon, and we're underway.
We're off. So here's Devin Robertson for the Dogs in his own end, just starting us off here, and a great pass over to Jamie Burke. So right off the bat, Jamie Burke into the offensive zone, tries to get around McMahon, but he does a great job of defending the play. So just chipped up the boards there by the Snipers, but stopped there by Bennett, who's going to try to get that deep. But Ruddle picks it up on the point, tries to get it over to Burke, picked up by Robertson, who's going to throw that in on Mikey James, but goes a little high. So Ruddle in the corner now, looking for it. He's going to circle that behind the net, and there's your man, Laki Sincotta with the puck, but just to clear out, just to flex off the skate of Vadim Vrajasov in on Mikey James, who will cover up and get those 3 big Dogs off the ice.
So some good initial pressure there from the Dogs, starting off with some high intensity, but McMahon and Cincotta doing a good job of controlling it all, just not able to clear it out.
There we go. So we've got Liam Webster now out here. And you'll remember last week he was absolutely on fire. And I think the highlight almost of the season was his lovely alley-oop pass off the young Sweatman to score that opening goal.
They'll be missing Sam Sweatman tonight. He's not playing for the Snipers, unfortunately. He's been a real find as well for them.
Yeah, so here we go. Here comes Justin Dixon, who was great in his first game for the Dogs last week. He's out there with Koenig and Tashuma. So Tashuma, right on cue, picks it up in his own zone. He's going to take that in front of his net, behind his net, getting chased there by Metcalf. So gets it through into the neutral zone. The Dogs through Dixon. Little mistake there, and a chip up, out, and out of play into the bench.
So no 2 minutes for that one. It didn't happen in the defensive zone. But it does run the clock down a little bit. At the moment, another unusual thing we're seeing tonight, the Snipers have a full bench. And that'll, I mean, it may be a good thing. It should be a good thing. They should have fresh legs. But they have played a number of their games short. The A-line for the Dogs on, and so we have McMahon and Cincotta for the Snipers to protect them.
So there we go. So Lazzarato against Burke, and little winger win there by Verjasov, but Cincotta able to get that over to the side in front of the bench. Vadim there on the point, walking the line, being fought there hard by Nash, still with the puck, as he often does, puck on a string, and he's going to battle there against 3 Snipers and still gets it out to Burke. So Jamie Burke with a shot, but a nice kick save there by James to kick that over to the corner. And here's Robertson over to his D partner, Singer, but here's Michael McMahon bringing it up off the wing. So Dogs are pressing early, but no shots either way recorded. Although I think Mikey James did make that one save just there.
He certainly did.
So there we go. A nice little pass up by Vadim, trying to get it to Burke, but only can get it as far there as Subert. So the Snipers just trying to calm it down, not trying to do anything dangerous, playing those high percentage plays. And Subert's going to get that over there to Lockie Cincotta. So Cincotta picked off there by Verjasov. He's in alone, waiting for a little bit for his teammates to give support, but he's just going to get that into the corner for Cincotta then to chip it here off the glass. And we're going to get a call there for a hand pass.
So one of the things there that the Snipers need to be a little bit careful of, you did point out earlier that Verjasov ran into a wall of 3 Snipers. Now that does mean there's 2 unmarked Dogs floating around, and if you can get the puck out, they're in a lot of trouble. They've really got to watch out for that. They don't overcommit to him. He does have the puck on a string.
For sure, and how many times have we seen that little tap-in goal by Ruddle, right,
yep,
so far playing
absolutely.
with these 2 guys. So that's what the Snipers are going to have to be worried about. So here's Subert in his own zone. He's going to whip that off the boards, but Justin Dixon was there. So Dixon now on the half wall, just gets the body hit on him, was able to curl and protect that, and Kyle Joyce shoots that in, but a nice save there by Mikey James using that great new technology they have on the Warrior pad. Supposedly it prevents it from knocking over. It just knocks it forward.
So we're going to see a lot of those shots from Kahu. It's good to have him back this week. He's such a playmaker, such a pivotal part of this Dogs team too. He's a bit underrated in a lot of occasions.
Oh, and a fall there by Bennett. So here come the Snipers with Nikitin on the wing. Brings it in with a shot. Oh, and just wide. But the Snipers will keep that in through Subert, who's going to chip that deep. And here's Bennett, who recovered nicely after his little tumble on the blue line, but gets it up to Webster. So here are the Snipers on the point, shoot that deep, and there's some offensive pressure here for the Snipers. And Davis is down, and it's...
Ooh, nearly.
Sorry, Holland.
Very close.
Yeah, very close. He was
on
desperately
trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, Holland on his behind, but Snipers weren't able to capitalize there. But they still have the puck, and Webster doing a great job there in the corner to bring it up onto the half wall. And he's just going to switch there with Van Douwen, still with the puck, with a nice little shot, trying to look for a deflection. But the Dogs are going to get that out now through Koenig. So Koenig's going to feed that up to Tashuma, but that's a little bit wide, and Jeff Hughes is going to get that and send that over to his D partner in Subert. Subert now here on the near boards, tries to chip it up, and he gets it through to Webster. So here's Liam Webster in alone, but Van Douwen going to help out with support, but the Dogs are going to collect that and send that out into center. So here's Jamie Burke, the captain now, drops that there for Ruddle. Ruddle in with speed, brings it there into the circle, taking a look through, but a nice block there by Cincotta. So we have a really great play right here going back and forth. There's Singer. Oh, what a great save there by James.
Yeah, this is a very enticing little tussle at the moment. It's very even. Both teams have had a number of attacking opportunities.
That's for sure. So Ruddle now in the back corner, gets it back out to Stringer with a shot that just went wide. I don't know if that was he was looking for a tip, but that's going to get through to his D partner there in Morris, who's going to whip it around again. And they're playing catch, these 2 defenders. But the Snipers finally get it out, and a nice little chip by Van Douwen, but I think this is going to go all the way for icing.
Yep, icing call on that one. He had just a wall of Dogs in front of him. There wasn't much he could do except go the chip across ice, hoping that maybe a winger on the other side could get there in time, but it wasn't going to happen.
So some really great pressure there, and it all starts with the forecheck. And for those of you at home looking to improve in your own play, we always say defensive play starts in the offensive zone, right? So that great pressure there by this top line of the Dogs forces the Snipers really to send it up the wall, and that's where we had that play of catch between those two Dog defenders up there.
If you don't have the angles, you can't clear the puck. Pretty much is how it works, isn't it?
That's for sure. So here's Ruddle battling with his number there, Sincott in the corner. He gets that back out to Stringer. So Stringer, who's played D the last 2 games, doing a fine job to get that puck across. So here comes Lindsay Nash battling there with Morris, and Lindsay Nash is going to get it out, but only as far as center, and it's being waved off. So we have Jamie Burke, last man back, picking up the puck for the Dogs, and he's getting chased by his opposite center in Lazzarato. He burns past Lazzarato, gets that up to Verchasov. He breaks into the zone, just cuts, looking for a pass, gets it over to Ruddle with the shot, but a great save there by James. It's come back over there to Burke. Burke now for the Dogs in the half wall, back to his defensive player in Robinson with a deflection in front by Verjasov, but that goes wide. Here comes Subert here for the Snipers, who gets that up to Bobby Clark, who's just going to shoot that down to allow his defenders there to get a quick little change. And Liam Webster, captain of the Snipers, has come over the bench. So let's see if he can do something here. So here's Monroe, brings it out in front, and Webster just wasn't able to collect that puck. He's going to battle there. Nice job with the Schumann. That's going to get back to who's going to shoot that with a deflection out into the
And I've got to say that save earlier by Mikey James for the Snipers. That was a game-winning save. That one. Yeah. It was such an important one to keep out. If as you were saying earlier, if the Dogs get that early goal, they're going to be really lifting their tails up and wagging. So we've got to make sure that doesn't happen. And a superb save there from Mikey James under a lot of pressure.
So Webster against Koenig in a win there for the Dogs. So the Dogs in their own zone, gets to the half wall there for Dixon, who looked in front for Bennett, but that missed. So there's Cooper Metcalf, who's going to send that back to Jeff Hu in his defensive zone for the Snipers. And a great stretch pass there for Robbie Clark that just missed him.
Not quite able to pick it up.
Just missed him, and that's going to come all the way back into the
it was definitely the right option, though. It was a really good piece of vision. He saw the pass on.
Yeah.
Just not quite able to pick it up. That's Robbie Clark. But I've got to say, so far, Liam Webster's been playing a superb game as well. We talk about Vajasov having a puck on a stick, but on a string, but tell you what, Webster's not far off that as well.
He's great. He plays with such poise, and he just makes the right decision so often, which, they don't get much time to make those decisions out here with the speed that the game's played at, but he just seems to know what he wants to do with it before the play even unfolds. So nice little chip there by Metcalf there to keep the puck in for the Snipers, but with little support, the Dogs are going to get that through Koenig out of the zone, just up on the wall, but misses the pass there for Dixon, and that's going to allow McMahon to get that up to Webster, back to McMahon, back to Webster. Webster with the shot. Great save there by Holland. And here we go, Munro off the bench, keeps it in on the battle. That gets into the feet there of Robertson. He's just going to curl back, didn't like what he saw, and take that to the protection behind the net, just to let his forwards come back, regroup, and set up there for the breakout. So here come the Dogs through Dixon into the neutral zone. Doesn't have much support, so he'll just chip that down and go for a change.
It's not often you get to see a goalie do some screening, but I don't know if you noticed that, but Damon Holland screening the forecheck from the Snipers against the Dogs player trying to break it out. It's an unusual thing. I've never seen that before. Yeah,
you take a look. Sometimes you see it in the NHL, right? You come out to the top of the blue paint because then that forces their player to get a little bit further. It was just a few extra strides and gives your defender a little bit more time to go either side. So here comes Burke. Nice little job to get into the slot. And what a pass!
Beautiful pass.
Talk about the tap-ins of Ryan Ruddle.
Yep.
We've got another one. I think that's 3 weeks in a row. Jamie Burke curls up on the top of the circle and feeds an amazing little saucer pass over, and Ryan Ruddle deflects that in past Mikey James for the first goal of the game.
Yeah, well, the old story, if you're in the right place, magic happens, but the magic there orchestrated by the head magician of Jamie Burke. That was a magnificent pass and superb vision. And he's got a big smile on his face. He's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and great,
as he would be.
Absolute great pass by Burke, but let's not take away from Ryan Ruddle. It's not easy to get that exactly where you want to go on such a hard pass, and he seemed to have perfected it and just fits so well playing with these two stars here for the Dogs.
Yep. So just beautiful positioning and being able to see that puck coming through the traffic.
So as we kind of spoke during the pregame, Carl, this is often what happens to most teams playing against the Dogs. They let in a goal, and then they're forced to play a little bit more offensively, and that's where the Dogs start to bite, right?
Yep, they've got to take the risks.
So Snipers are going to want to get one back quickly, but that shot there by Hu went into the feet of Jamie Burke, and here comes now the Dogs through Verjasov. So Verjasov on the half wall, battling there against Hu. Nice little job to chip back and make some space for himself. Curls back again, into the corner and feeds that over to his partner. And, oh, there you go. Oh, is it in? Whoa, my.
Yep, they've got another one.
Oh, what a save by Mikey James. Save of the season. But that, Johnny on the spot. I think that was Ryan Ruddle again. Ryan Ruddle, sorry, got stopped, and Verjasov just curling in from behind the net, got that loose puck and just tapped that in. He won't score many more easier than that, but what a great...
I don't know you'd call it easy. As you're saying, you had to be in the right place.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure. But you could just see the Dogs picked it up about 5% just in terms of their tempo with that first goal. It's got to really lifted their intensity, and off they went.
Yeah, but great play again by that line, moving the puck around. Started there with Verjasov, just making a little bit of space for him, feeding it over to Burke, and then Johnny on the spot, Ryan Ruddle with the shot, saved by James. But there was Verjasov who did well to continue his stride to get to that far corner and tap that puck in the net. So 2-0 game, and this is where it gets dangerous for any team playing against the Dogs, because this is where they tend to start to stretch it a little bit more. They have guys that look for that little bit of a longer stretch pass, and they really look for those breakaway opportunities. So let's see what the Snipers can do here.
We might also find that the Snipers start switching their D around. They did on that last one. They changed the D matching up against the Dogs A-line.
Yeah,
and they had McMahon and Sincotta off the ice at the time those two goals happened.
So Corey Stringer's just going to get that deep, and McMahon's going to pick that up behind his net and give it up to Bobby Clark on the half wall. Nice little feed back up to McMahon, who tried to find Nikitin but wasn't able to connect. So Bobby Clark there battling, and a little deflection that goes up, out, over the over the netting, and that's a nice little souvenir for one of the little fans out there. Or they're
going to give it back. That's a shame.
Give it back. That's a footy. That's because that's a footy thing, right? Us Aussies, we got to give the ball back, right?
Wouldn't get that in Canada, would you?
Nah.
That's my puck now.
Yeah. What puck? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And some teeth.
Yeah. So here's Kahu, who missed last week, coming in, and they definitely miss him, bringing it down deep into the corner. So Kahu now battling against a couple Dogs, a couple Snipers, and still gets the puck down deep to Burke. So Burke now being fought, and he's actually Subert just got his stick in front of him, so we're going to have a penalty for the Snipers. So there goes Damian Holland. So we got the extra skater, but that's going to get touched by the Snipers. And Subert, who just got his stick in front of Jamie Burke, who kept his legs moving to draw the penalty, is going to go off for 2 minutes. And
that's not what the Snipers need at the moment. They need penalties, they need power plays, not penalty kills.
Yeah.
They do have a pretty good penalty kill, but they need goals.
That's for sure. So here we go. We've got Burke on the point here with Kahu, and we've got Bennett, and Ruddle, and Verjasov here. So there's Jamie Burke on the far point with the puck. He's going to have a look, little toe drag around McMahon. A shot through, but a nice block there by
Lockie Sincotta saved himself. I think he wore that one.
Yeah, so I think that's one on the inside. So here we go. Playing catch here on the point is Ruddle and Burke. So Burke now looking. He's got Kahu open, but he's going to send that back down to the corner for Ruddle. So Ruddle now has it, gets it back to Burke on the top. He winds up, fake little shot, back to Ruddle. Ruddle now with a shot, great save by James. A nice little rebound there by Bennett, and another save there by Mikey James. But that's going to get collected by Kahu, who will send that to the point there for Burke. So Jamie Burke on the far point. He's got Verjasov on the near point, but he's going to send that down to Kahu in the corner. Over to Verjasov on the half wall, who's going to have a look and send that back through down to the corner himself. So battling there with McMahon. He does a great job to keep that puck away from Verjasov. Gets it to Lazarado, who's going to send that down to the end of the ice and hop off for a change.
The Dogs with Ruddle was just floating around totally unmarked for a while there. They had got the puck through to him, it would have gone in for sure. Yeah,
great movement by the Dogs on there. Not only moving the puck, but also moving players around to keep the Snipers kind of guessing. But Snipers now have done a good job of getting the puck down the ice twice, so they're killing off some time here on the penalty. There's about 40 seconds left in the Snipers penalty, so we'll have the second unit now battling it. So there's Stringer with speed, breaking in, takes it onto the backhand, curls behind the net. He's got Morris on the point, and he'll give it to Morris, and Morris is having a look and gets that back to Stringer. Stringer all the way over to Tashuma, who's here having a look, gets it. Oh, tried to find Stringer across, but a nice block by Metcalf. But that's going to get won by the Dogs, and they're battling hard. Puck's loose. Here's Tashuma, has a peek, and that gets sent far into the corner, but the Dogs will get there first. So some nice offensive pressure by the second unit here. That's Stringer getting it over to Morris. Back over to Stringer now. who's going to walk down himself into the corner. So Stringer now in the far corner sends it over to Justin Dixon, who gets it back to Tashuma with the shot, but a nice block there by Webster.
Penalty all over now. Snipers back to
So
full
there we
strength.
go, out of the box and right on cue. Here's Subert, but a great job there by Morris to get back and negate that scoring opportunity.
So good penalty kill there, Snipers. You could see Michael James used a lot of energy in that kill on a number of those loose pucks. He had to use a lot of energy just to keep getting up and moving across and keeping things covered.
That's for sure. So nice job there with the hand-eye coordination by Tashuma to keep that puck in. He's going to get that over to Koenig, and Koenig's going to send that back to Tashuma. A nice play in front. That's going to go off the stick of McMahon back to the point for Bennett to send it again down deep. So some great offensive pressure for the Dogs, and they've kept that momentum. They might not have scored, but they had the puck down low in the sniper zone the entire time, and it's still here. And a great shot and a deflection there by Tashuma, but a great save there positionally for Mikey James. So Robertson gets it over to Bennett. Bennett's going to send that deep, and Lockie Sincata is going to pick that up in his own zone and battle there against Koenig. So here's McMahon now for the Snipers, and he's got a little bit of space in front of him. He's going to feed that up to Van Down. So Snipers now coming into neutral zone. A shot through, just handcuffs Holland a little bit, but collected there by Robertson and sent up to Justin Dixon. So Dixon now into Bennett. Bennett over the blue line, drops it there to Verjasov, who makes a nice little move to Van Down, tries to find Burke. That was a great stick there by Jeff Hu.
Nice cover there from Hu, wasn't overawed by Jamie Burke at all.
There we go, so Jamie Burke now back to the point for Robertson, who has a look. Nice little shot, looking for the deflection, but a kick save and a beauty by Mikey James there. So a centering pass blocked off there by Lazzarato, and he chips that the length of the ice. Not long enough for icing, so Robertson will pick that up and take that behind his own net and just let his forwards start getting a skate for a breakout. So there's Robertson, who tried to feed that up to Bennett, but get to Verjasov, picked off there by Nikitin. Nice save by Holland there with the glove to keep that away. That was a great scoring opportunity there for the Snipers.
And Jamie Burke just kind of doing a little bit of floating around high, looking for stretch passes a lot at the moment. I think he's getting hungry. He wants some more goals.
And that's what we see often, right? They get the 2-goal lead and they really start to stretch it and look for those long, far passes.
And if there's anyone you don't want to be getting out behind you, it's Jamie Burke. And here he goes.
So here's Burke, drops it for Verjasov. Beautiful little play. Gets it over to Burke, who gets it to a stick, but wasn't able to control it to Ruddle and just fans on it. So how often do we see that, Carl?
Webster was back there tidying up too, though. He was there for the Snipers, making sure that they didn't get through. And that winds up the first period. It's been pretty exciting, non-stop. Absolutely rattle-chattle down one end of the rink to the other. And at the end of the first, the Dogs with a 2-0 lead over the Snipers. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
I'm a king of the bits, they never seen this before. Woo! I gotta give them the script, yeah, I gotta leave them in awe. You know who they call when it's evil involved. I'm right in the store, the bigger they fall. Feeling like I've been defeating the all. Hands up like we asking for more.
And welcome back to iceHQ in the Reservoir for the second period in this tussle between the Snipers, ELWD Snipers and the CCM Reservoir Dogs. Dogs currently leading 2-0 as we get ready for the start of the second period.
Yeah, you know, shots 19-6 there in the first. A lot of offensive pressure by the Dogs, and there could have been a few more that could have gone in, but some great saves there by Mikey James and even some great blocks there by the Snipers as well.
Yep, we're underway now.
So game on. We'll need an early goal here for the Snipers to buoy some confidence to get back in this game. So Holland comes out of the net and feeds that over to Kahu Joyce. And Joyce is just going to hold that behind his own net, wait for a little bit of speed to come through. And Burke actually created some space for him to get it through and pass that up to Verjasov. So the Dogs in their own zone with Verjasov now circling back, having a peek. And he's going to just do a little move there past Webster, and now take it through the center with speed, and tried to get that over to Morris, but a great stick there by McMahon to deflect the puck away. But here comes Ryan Ruddle on the far side there with the shot, just wide. That's going to get shot down the length of the ice by Bobby Clark, and that'll be icing.
Icing on that one, yep. The Jamie Burke there just circling around. He always looks menacing, but you could see the playmaking there. Kahu Joyce with such pose and composure. I love watching him play. He's one of those defensive players who just orchestrates an attack from behind his own goal line, and he's an absolute master at it. He's one of the most underrated players, I think, in hockey in Australia, which is not bad because he's a Kiwi.
There we
But
go.
we'll take any Kiwi as long as they're good.
So there we go. Face off to the right of Mikey James. One there by Webster. Picked up by Lindsay Nash. So Lindsay Nash having a look now. Feeds that up onto the half wall there for Cooper Metcalf. But just misses that. And Stringer's going to collect that now for the Dogs. And he's come into the zone. Takes a little pass, but a nice little body there by a much smaller man in Nash to just separate Stringer from the puck. But it's still with the Dogs now. And it's with Tashuma, who's going to send that back to Stringer. Stringer's going to send a nice hard shot there into the chest. But the puck came loose, but the ref lost sight of it, so the whistle went, and we'll have another face-off there.
So this is one of those things you were talking about earlier, Anton, with the snipers having to cover much more in depth when they're in a defensive zone. They've got 5 players down below the face-off circles, which means when it is time to get the puck out, they've got much less attacking opportunities.
Yeah, and that's what that forecheck of the Dogs does to you, right?
Yep.
Really forces you to back check and fight them down low. And they're really going to need to figure out a way to break out with speed if they're going to want to get one quickly here.
That's where they need to start taking those risks if they're going to do it.
So speaking of speed, here comes Munro here on Robertson with the forecheck, but Robertson is going to send that over to Stringer, who's been playing great on D the last 2 games after a few games up on forward to begin the PHL season. So here's Subert now for the Snipers, getting that over there to who? Hits it up off the stick of Lazzarato. But back there for the Dogs. So the Dogs threw Robertson up to Tashuma, over to Koenig, back to Tashuma, but that's just going to miss. And here comes Lazzarato, one-on-one here now with Robertson, but he has no support, so he's going to just circle back and allow some of his forwards to give him a hand. So he's going to send that up to Munro. He's going to chip that deep and go for a change himself. Holland's going to stop that there for Robertson.
Yeah, no one actually got on that one. I think the referee had his hand up there for icing for a second until Holland cleaned it up.
Yeah, so the Snipers it's been a long stretch since they've had a sustained offensive pressure. Coach Laver will be trying to G him up on the bench and just tell him get the puck deep and have a shot. But here's Webster now, does a great job protecting the puck and with a shot. Oh, that was looking for daylight, but that just went a little bit wide. So no goal scored, no goal, no save, no shot opportunity on that one.
There's a gentleman up in the bar wearing a red hat. Maybe he thought that was the pipe.
Yeah, but so nice chance there for the Snipers, but the Dogs able to get it out, and a little battle there for the puck between McMahon and Tashuma ends up with the puck in the Snipers bench, and we'll have a face-off there on the far side neutral zone right in front of Coach Laver and his squad.
So the Snipers have come out pretty hard in this second period. They managed to get a couple of shots on, but you're right. They've actually got to get on the net and make Damien Holland do some work.
So nice face-off win there by Webster. Back to McMahon. He's going to chip that off the boards and back into the bench.
Tony Burke there with a big smile on his face. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but just keep putting to the bench and having a chat, perhaps.
Yeah, the puck's been inside our bench too often the last little bit, right? That's probably what he's saying. We'll reset and re-go again. So nice job by McMahon. Chips that up to Webster. So here's Webster with a shot on, but gloved there by Holland, who'll cover that up. Erase any scoring opportunity, but here's an offensive zone face-off for the Snipers, which have been few and far between so far here early in the second period.
Webster doing what he had to do, which is start getting some shots on the net.
So here's Webster up against Burke, and a face-off win by Burke to the far corner, but the Snipers will get there first with Nikitin, who's battling there against 2 Dogs. Kahu Joyce gets that up, but that only goes as far back to Lockie Sincato. Send that down, back onto the stick of Kahu, though. Kahu Joyce sends that over to Jamie Burke.
Vajasov down the other side.
Bring that through. So that was Burke looking for Vajasov, but a nice little stick there by Webster to negate that clean pass. But the Dogs were able still to battle hard, and Vajasov will collect that and give that back to Bennett. A nice pass there to Burke. He'll chip it over there to Ruddle, who'll leave it for Vajasov. So Vajasov on the near wall, circles through over to Burke, and a one-timer just wide. So here come the Snipers now, and that was McMahon chipping it up there for Metcalf to give chase. And Metcalf walks right into a big hit by Morris, but he bounces right back up, and he's ready to go. So it's a good forecheck here, but not able to collect the puck. So Ruddle's going to send that forward to Vajasov. Oh, and a great one-time pass over to Burke, but even better anticipation there by Liam Webster to cut that off. You can see Burke kind of looking skyward on that because his eyes just were super wide, thinking he was going to have a one-time opportunity on the back door there. So here's Sincata with speed, skating through, getting chased there by Koenig. So great little stick lift there by Koenig, but Sincata is able to pick that up and send that down to Munro. So Munro now circling in the offensive zone, gets that back to who's going to send it over to Sincata. Sincata's going to look, take a shot. Nice little block there by Koenig, and it's going to come back into the center. Tashuma chips that up to Dixon, and now Dixon's here battling. Chips just past Sincata. Here's Dixon. It's backhand, forehand, save, goal!
You could see that one coming from the defensive error that was made by the Snipers up high in the blue line. Their defensive players got a little bit too low.
Let's take a look at this on the CCM all-out replay, because I think Mikey James was close on it, nearly. Oh no, that went back and out. Yeah. So that's Brian Tashuma there on the rebound. That was able just to knock that in with a little bit of miscommunication with the Snipers in front of their own net.
And also the Snipers just overcommitting a bit on the forecheck and just leaving themselves open to that run from behind, and that's what let that through in the first place. They've got to watch that. Yeah.
So here we are. Shots 21-7 for the Dogs. It's been all Dogs all game, all out for the CCM Dogs so far here in the final round of the regular season.
So the Snipers don't have to win this one as long as the Inferno don't win the next game to make it through to the finals. There's the way the format works is you get the top 3 teams too. The Dogs have made it through to the grand final already. They have won every game so far, and it doesn't matter what happens with this one for them. But the Snipers have a 1-point lead over Inferno, and the next game will be critical to them as well. If Snipers win this, which could still happen, then they can't be kept out of the finals, but otherwise it will come down to the next game between the Bruins and the Inferno to see who gets the 3rd place for the playoffs.
There we go. So Dogs with a face-off win, but Lazzarato's able to collect that off the stick of Jamie Burke and just chip that far into the zone. So this seems to be all the Snipers seem to be doing right now, is just trying to get the puck out of their own zone, but it's just giving the Dogs offensive pressure on offensive pressure and continue. So that was Robertson over to, there you go. Nice goal, Ryan Ruddle. So a shot from Robertson from the point, bounces in front, gets luckily there to Ruddle, who chips that top shelf. And we've got a 4-0 game, and a little bit of frustration there by the Snipers with, I believe that was Lazzarato just firing the puck all the way to the length of the ice.
Obviously a little bit unhappy about that. That one was a little bit too easy. You're right, the Snipers just not getting out of putting any pressure onto the Dogs, so they're just running around pretty much amok at the moment.
So 4-0 game now, 22 shots to 7. I mean, it's not over, but the Snipers are going to need to do something quick if they have any hope to get back into this game, because the Dogs have only let in more than 3 goals, I believe, once or twice so far this season. So despite we also always talking about them as an offensive juggernaut, they've been good defensively as well. So
an old truism that the best attack is built on the best defense.
Yeah, so great job there by Webster getting it to Sincata, who sends that down to Bobby Clark, who has a shot deflected off Burke, and that goes wide. So here's Nikitin. He's going to chip that back, and Clark's going to pick that up for the Snipers in the far corner. Send that back to Sincata, off his stick to his skate, and that goes right to Ruddle, who sends it to Verjasov. He's chasing hard there, but McMahon with those long legs just able to get back, and he'll feed that up to Webster. So here's Webster with a shot off the paddle of Damian Holland, and goes wide, and that's in front now. But not able to get on that was Clark. So here's Nikitin, who's going to get that back behind the net to Clark. Clark battling there against Morris. Still with the puck, Clark gets that back down behind the net for Webster, who just wasn't able to collect it. And Dylan Morris now for the Dogs will walk this out here on the offside. Chips that up to Verjasov, which just missed him. And icing waved off, so McMahon will pick that up and whip that around, but gets that only as far as Ruddle. So there's Ruddle down to Verjasov. Verjasov in the far corner battling there with McMahon. Little chip up in the air, and where's the puck? Over in the corner. There we go. So it's still live. And that was now Lockie Sincata in the neutral zone.
Picked off beautifully there, Kahu Joyce's vision. Yeah. Just snipping that little attack in the bud.
So there's a great little offensive shift there for the Dogs. I mean, for the Snipers, sorry, led by their captain Webster, but wasn't able to get a goal. And there's Lazzarato now with a shot that just goes wide. He's going to battle against the same number there with Kahu Joyce. But nice defensive support there from Koenig, who's going to now circle behind his own net and bring that up here off the near wall. So into the neutral zone now, the Dogs. And that brings it just offside.
So Nick Munro there with a good little steal. He got rid of the behind the net play from the Dogs and actually gave the Snipers another little attacking opportunity. And they're going to need more of that. They need quite a lot more of that. They've got to claw back a 4-goal deficit to give themselves that guaranteed path through into the finals.
Yeah, I mean, a period and a half into the game, only 8 shots. I think coach would say let's just pepper the goalie a little bit more, because as solid as Holland has been, when there has been some sustained offensive pressure, there have been opportunities available for the Snipers. So great little Johnny Bauer diving poke check there by James to negate the scoring opportunity. And the Snipers get that out, but only as far as Robertson, who's going to whip that over to Stringer. So Stringer off the wall over to Koenig, and Koenig's going to send that back there to Robertson. So Robertson sends it right back where it came from to Tashuma, and Tashuma is going to send that deep into the defensive zone, the Snipers. And Mikey James now chips that up, gets it to Tashuma. Deflection there in front, but just goes wide. Puck's there on the side of the net. Puck's loose. Now Mikey James collects that, and we'll have a whistle.
It's
So
a
you
little
see
bit
here
slow
on the
there.
CCM replay, right? The puck came off the sidewall, and it was just sitting there behind the goal line, and Mikey was doing as hard as he could to just get his stick on it and scoop it in.
So
and
use the force,
finally
Luke.
got
Use
it,
the
yeah.
force.
Finally got it in and covered up.
If you breathe hard enough, you might be able to breathe it in.
Yeah.
Or blow hard enough to blow it away.
There we go. That's one piece of equipment they should have had, the vacuum, right? To suck the puck in. So there's Verjasov, gets it back over to Joyce. Joyce with a shot along the ice that just deflects there far into the corner for Cooper Metcalf to pick up. And he's going to circle that behind his own net for Sincata to pick up. Sincata's going to look for the stretch pass up there to Clark. Misses everyone, but no, deflection there by the Dogs, so the icing is waved off. So here's a play around the boards, kept in there by Sincata, who's trying to get that down to Clark, and Clark's now going to support him, but the puck's going to bump out there to Verjasov, who's going to send it over to Bennett. So Bennett for the Dogs now into the offensive zone.
Verjasov offside.
Verjasov just a little too eager. He's not happy.
Well, he was offside.
Yeah. There's no worse feeling than when you're the guy that goes offside, because you know that you stopped the scoring opportunity. It's not intentional, obviously, but you still kind of hits you in the guts.
Yeah, that, and when you're on a penalty kill and you accidentally put the puck into the net and you get take a 4-on down to a 3-on.
Yeah.
That sucks too. So I didn't mean to put the puck up there.
So just having
Just trying to clear it out.
I was having a little chat here. The Snipers just had 4 on instead of 5. And now Van Down on the ice to put 5 on. That's all ref was talking to coach for. So a little miscommunication on the Sniper bench, but we're back 5-on-5, which is what's meant to be. So nice play there by Van Douwen. So Van Douwen now for the Snipers over to Lazzarato. But what a
Lazzarato not quite able to convert it.
Great play there by Joyce just to keep that puck away from Lazzarato, because that was wide open on the doorstep for a sure tap-in. So now the Dogs bring it down into their offensive opportunity zone, and Joyce is going to pinch and get that deep there to Verjasov. So Verjasov now chips that back in front, but that's going to deflect and go the length of the ice, and Robertson's going to have a peek before he picks up just to see who he wants to send it to. So he's had a look, and he's going to try to send that over to Burke, but that's going to go a little bit wide and chipped out into the neutral zone there by Subert. And Robertson will come back again into his defensive zone and have a look. And this time he does find Burke, but in his own zone, Burke's going to curl and have a peek. He's going to send that back over to Robertson, who's going to have a look. And you got Ryan Ruddle now streaming on the far side. He's going to send that up the near side over there to Tashuma. Tashuma's going to send that deep, and Ruddle's going to have chase and pick that on the half wall and just have a shot on net. But a nice save there by Mikey James just to deflect that into the corner. And dangerous play by Michael McMahon, but no scoring opportunity, so he's saved there. And the Dogs with some good sustained pressure. This is going to come on the half wall now for Webster, but picked off there by Koenig, and Koenig's going to send that back to his defender in Morris. So Morris now for the Dogs chips that up into the neutral zone. So the Dogs are doing a great job of keeping the puck out of their own zone. And if you do that, you don't often get scored on, right?
It's pretty hard to score from the other end of the rink.
Yeah.
It can be done, but it's pretty rare.
That's for sure. So here's Michael McMahon, who's going to look for a breakout here, and he's going to chip that up to Metcalf, get that up to Webster. Webster was looking over for Nikitin, but wasn't able to get the pass through. So the Dogs, again, nice little job just to regroup into their zone and have a peek for a nice pass there Robertson up to Koenig. So Koenig's
McMahon and Cincotta have been on for a long shift so far. They'd be starting to get tired.
yeah, so the Dogs have been doing this really well. When they don't have an opportunity forward, they just send it back to the D, regroup, and let those forwards, skate their routes and look for that breakout. And that's what's been really the difference so far early in this game. So here comes the puck down deep, and Koenig's going to beat that out so icing is called off. Stringer on the point, chips that deep. So Koenig's now going to battle there against McMahon, but McMahon's going to rim that down, around, all the way, and we're going to have an icing call.
And that'll keep McMahon and Cincotta on the ice too. They've been out for a very, very long shift. They're stuck out there now. Both of them are doing a pretty decent impersonation of a traffic cone. They're going to look for a change as soon as they can, but they've been stuck out now for probably 2 minutes. It's a very long shift for a defensive pair.
They are thoroughbreds, though, right?
They are thoroughbreds. It's a very long shift.
That's for sure. So here's Ruddle now with the puck at the top of the circles. That's going to deflect up into the netting, and the Snipers will be allowed to change now.
Yep. Are they going to do it?
But no, they're going to stay out there.
They're staying on.
Yeah. So there's Lazzarato up against Burke, and Lazzarato with the face-off win, and that's going to come out now for the Snipers, who with 1 minute and 17 seconds left would really hope for a late goal just to set them up for a potential third period comeback.
Well, they've got to do something. This is not looking good for them at the moment. Again,
So
they don't
Ruddle
need to win it, but
so up in the front of Vajasov with a shot, but a nice save there by James. So that was a great forecheck by Ruddle and Burke there up on McMahon, and they were just able to get that out to the front for Vajasov, who probably didn't get everything on it. He probably would have wanted to get a little bit more power. So there's that stretch pass to Vajasov. Now coming in, nice dive, curls in front, tried to chip it over the glove of James, but that went up and over the net as well. So Vajasov now with the puck there on the far side, tried to send it in front over to Burke. That's going to go into the corner. And Burke now in front to Ruddle. Nice save there by James, and that puck's finally going to get out through. Nope, yep, finally going to get out through Lazzarato. And we're going to have a
high stick. And McMahon and Cincotta still on the ice. Cincotta now makes his way over for the change, but McMahon's staying on the ice. Right,
So
he's going for a change now. He's
Yeah.
pretty tired. That was at least a 3-minute shift. That's a massive shift for those two men.
So 6 seconds left. I think the Snipers will just be slowly getting there to just wind down the clock, and that's probably why we had the change.
Yep. So at the end of the second period, the Dogs are leading the Snipers by 4-1 with 27 shots to 9. It's been a fairly dominant game. It started off pretty even. The Snipers and the Dogs going end to end in fairly high intensity for about the first 5 minutes. And then after that first goal, the Snipers, the wheels fell off a little bit and the Dogs wagged their tails. So we'll have a 10-minute break while the ice cut, 15-minute break, while the ice cut is done. Anton and I will be back with you at the commencement of the third period.
I'm a king of the bits, they never seen this before. Woo! I gotta give them the script, yeah, I gotta leave them in awe. You know who they call when it's evil involved. I'm right in the store, the bigger they fall. Feeling like I've been defeating the all. Hands up like we asking for more. It's go time, it's a goal. It's where my mind is. Right. I got my both eyes on the goal. I'm turning the top.
Hockey is made of many things. Of early morning practices and cold rinks. sticks and skates, fresh sheets of ice, and scuffed boards. Of grit and guts, passion and power, performance and precision. It's made of crushing physicality and split-second agility. Of generation after generation of lacing up, raising the cup, and not once giving up. We've always been, and always will be, true to this game. And this game doesn't demand much, just everything you've got. CCM.
I'm a king of the bits, they never seen this before. Woo! I gotta give them the script, yeah, I gotta leave them in awe. You know who they call when it's evil involved. I'm right in the store, the bigger they fall. Feeling like I've been defeating the all. Hands up like we asking for more. It's go time, it's a goal. It's where my mind is. Right. I got my both eyes on the goal. I'm turning the top.
Nico, good try. Riley! Good try. Tell him.
Yeah, I'm a king of the bits. They never seen this before. Woo! I gotta give them the script. Yeah, I gotta leave them in awe. You know who they call when it's evil involved. I'm right in the store, the bigger they fall. Feeling like I've been defeating the all. Hands up like we asking for more. Yeah, let's go. Time is a goal. It's where my mind is. Right. I got my both eyes on the goal. I'm turning the top.
Hockey is made of many things. Of early morning practices and cold rinks. Sticks and skates. Fresh sheets of ice and scuffed boards. Of grit and guts. Passion and power. Performance and precision. It's made of crushing physicality and split-second agility. Of generation after generation of lacing up, raising the cup, and not once giving up. We've always been, and always will be, true to this game. And this game doesn't demand.
Well, welcome back to iceHQ in the reservoir in Melbourne, where we are seeing a fascinating little tussle starting the third period between the ELWD Snipers and the CCM Reservoir Dogs. The Dogs up at the moment, 4 goals to none to the Snipers with 27 shots to 9. The Dogs and Snipers have started out very evenly for about the first 5 minutes, and the Dogs got the first goal, and the Snipers have been chasing them ever since, and just mostly pinned down in their own defensive area with not an awful lot of creative attacking playing. They're getting the occasional breakout, but not nearly enough that they need, so they're going to need to have a pretty rapid change of fortune in this period. Anton, over to you.
Yeah, I think as we spoke, plenty of times so far this season, the Dogs really being led by this line. Burke with 3 assists so far, and Ruddle with 2 goals and assists. So both on 3-point nights here, 2 periods into the game. So here come the Snipers, trying to get out through Sincata up to Nikitin. But Jamie Burke's going to battle there against his opposing captain, forcing Webster just to dump that length of the ice. So Sincata with a pinch, but can't get that deep, and Morris is going to get that over to Verjasov, who sends a nice little saucer pass over to Burke, who'll collect that now deep in his own zone. But great job by McMahon just to get his stick in the way and prevent Burke to beat there with point. But
how are you doing there, Anton? You all right?
yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good.
I thought this disconnected over here, but then I realized we're all good. Yeah, so no, the dogs are all good here with Morris. So Morris now able to get the puck and send that through over to Ruddle. So Ruddle now able to chip that forward up to the blue line, and that's sorry, can you see that? There's Verjasov. So Verjasov now with the puck whips that over, and a nice job there off the bench is Lockie Sincata. So a lot of play here in the neutral zone, not too much attacking pressure early here in the third, but Ruddle's going to feed that over to Verjasov, who's now going to chip that back to Ruddle. So Ruddle, who's been having a great game, gets that back to Verjasov, who's going to circle in the corner and just look for a pass. He's going to get that up to Robertson, into the center for Burke. Burke on the backhand, tries to feed that back to Bennett, but Monroe is there. But as he often is, Verjasov hard battling on the puck, but here it comes now, the snipers. So the snipers with 3, Monroe there on the far side, deep in the corner, sends it to the front of the net for Van Down, but that misses him, and here's Jamie Burke chipping it up to Verjasov. So here's 2 of them now. Verjasov, he's going to, on the backhand, have a shot, but a great save there by Mikey James. Picked up there by Burke, who brings it backhand, forehand shot, save again by James. So James doing as he often does, stopping the puck here for the snipers, and he'll need to do that consistently if the snipers have any chance to get back. So here's now Dixon with a shot that goes wide, but Robertson's going to pick that up on the boards and just chip that off the half wall down into Verjasov. Verjasov over to Bennett. Nice hit there by Van Down, and a great stick there by Hugh to get it up to the point, but not out. So great stick work there by Robertson. Gets it to Dixon. Dixon in the front over to Koenig, and just not able to connect on it. And the snipers now will get that only up to the blue line and chip deep for Michael McMahon for the snipers to collect. So here's Van Down for the snipers, up to Lazzarato, who chips that forward to Metcalf. Metcalf absolutely dumped by Robertson there on the blue line, forcing Michael McMahon just to chip that down into the corner to allow his team to have a change.
So McMahon seeing there the pressure that his forwards have been put under, and he's just stepping up a little bit to try and get some shots on with that maturity and strength that he has. But the defensive lapses there in the snipers' play, they're letting the dogs float around loose in the slot a lot, and that's just a recipe for a disaster. They're going to have to tidy that up.
So just a little loose puck that chips out in front of Mikey James, and he'll cover up and allow the rest of the change to happen. You'll let Michael McMahon get off the ice for Lucas Serbert to come on, and we'll have a face-off here on the near side just to the right of Mikey James.
So the snipers really need to tidy up that loose player in the slot. They're letting it happen far too much, and they're just going to get peppered from there.
So chip out by the snipers, but Stringer's back there for the Dogs, and he's going to chip that over to Kyle Joyce on the far side. He's going to send that over there to Tashuma. Tashuma through the middle to Koenig, not able to connect. So here come the snipers now through Bobby Clark in the neutral zone. He's going to chip that, but blocked there by Tashuma. So the Dogs able to really keep no offensive pressure there for the snipers, which they really need, and they need to go fast if they're gonna get back into this game and guarantee that finals opportunity.
Just a little bit of rattled defense there from the snipers, getting a little bit frazzled and trying to be a little bit too fancy sometimes.
So here's Webster picking the pocket there of Joyce, coming in on the far side with a shot, but a great save there by Holland. So Webster able just to duck out of the check of Joyce, who gets that deep down there for Clark. So Clark now to Sincata, who has a shot deflected off the stick of Burke and into the corner there. So Bobby Clark battling against 2 Dogs, and he's now getting the puck just off Kahu there with support there from Metcalf, and a great pass there out to Burke. So Burke now with Tashuma in the center, having a look, walks around, gets to the point, but what a save! What a save by Mikey James with the paddle. Holy moly, that was gorgeous. And that's going to allow his team to get out into the offensive zone through Nash.
Monkey Sincata did a good job there, just cutting off the option for as long as he possibly could, and giving Mikey James a chance to make that save.
That's for sure. I can't wait to see the CCM all-out replay on that one. But the Dogs aren't done. They're still pressing, and Verjasov with a shot just off the blocker arm there of Mikey James. So here's Van Down, who's going to chip that deep into the far corner, and Lindsay Nash is going to go chase with Holland out of the net, and Lindsay Nash collects it. He's being battled there hard by Verjasov, who comes out with the puck and gets that up to Ruddle. So now Ryan Ruddle gets that over to the far side for Verjasov, who just tried to dipsy-doodle past McMahon, but McMahon's too experienced to let that happen, and the Dogs will just bring that in offside. So let's look at this CCM all-out replay here. What a save. So a nice little pass across. He just dives over, paddle down to absolutely rob Tashuma.
Yeah, not forgetting the work that Sincata did to make sure that he didn't have such an easy pass across ice as well. I think Sincata was stuck on a 2-on-1 against 2 of the best attacking players here, and he did a great job of managing that situation.
I'm telling you, Carl, it's at least 2 or 3 times a game that Mikey James pulls out some of these world-class saves. So Sniper's not able to get that in, and then the Dogs will just battle in the neutral zone, and Jamie Burke will send that to his defensive teammate there in Robertson. He'll feed that up to Verjasov. So Verjasov there on the point tried to find Burke, and it chipped through, but it will get to him eventually, and he's going to battle hard against Nikitin. And McMahon will support him, and that'll get through to Metcalf and back up to Nikitin, who tried to find Lazzarato but wasn't able to get through the Dogs. So we're going to have that just offside, and that was Cooper Metcalf just laying the body on Burke, which just put Burke offside for when the dogs cross the blue line there.
Slow down that progress just enough to stuff the timing up over the blue line. Absolutely right. Good call, Anton. It's good. The Dockers, the Snipers desperately need some goals now. The goal deficit has blown out to 31 shots to 10.
Yeah.
And they're still on 0-4. They just haven't get the shots on at the moment.
That's it. They need the shots if they're going to get the goals. And here's Liam Webster, who we know can do it all, and he's going to get a shot on. They just handcuffed Holland a little bit, but he's going to bring that back into the body, cover up.
What's been happening very much so is the Dogs' neutral zone players really cutting them off. So every time the Snipers have retrieved puck, they've just had no line through the neutral zone at all. Neutral zone at all. The Dogs have just been cutting it off completely, leaving the Snipers no option but either to chip deep or take shots from a distance, which makes Damien Holland's job a little bit too easy.
So that's Ryan Bennett just chipping up to Dixon, but he's not able to get that deep. So Sincott able to get that through, but only got it through to the neutral zone, and now it's going to go deep into the sniper zone. So Sincott is going to feed that over to Hugh. So Hugh in the near corner right now is going to feed that up the half wall there to Lindsay Nash, not able to collect it, but he does a great job of just using his body to prevent that from going deep, and Webster's going to try to find that over to Munro, but nice little job for foot to stick by Koenig, but that was just offside. I think Munro just touched the puck there.
A little bit of to and fro over the blue line. This is the opportunity that the Snipers need. If they don't get a couple of shots on now, you can pretty much put down your glasses. You've only got 10 minutes of this game to go. Again, they don't need to win it. The Dogs certainly don't need to win it, but they like to. They don't like losing games, and Jamie Burke and Vazazov like to score goals. You can see the grin on Burkey's face whenever he gets anywhere near a shot.
So nice forecheck there by Dixon, but McMahon gets it out in the second opportunity, and Bobby Clark's going to send that deep into the dog zone. So that's Bennett now up to Tashuma, and he's going to send that the length of the ice and arms up for icing. So we'll come all the way back down into the doggy zone for a face-off there to the right.
This is going to be the attacking face-off that the Snipers must get some shots on from. If they can win it back to McMahon for a decent shot in from the blue line, down low and get some deflections, they've got a good chance.
Yeah, so look for Lazzarato here on his side to get that back over to McMahon, but that was Nikitin getting it over to Clark, and now Lazzarato in the corner, just getting bodied there by Bennett. So Clark now with a little stick check, trying to get that puck deep, and that's going to get through to Nikitin. So Nikitin battling against Joyce, and Nikitin's going to get that into the corner now for Clark to have a look. And he's going to send that in front with a nice shot there, Nikitin. Where's the puck? Holland had a little look behind him, but he had it under him.
Yeah,
so
Nikitin there with the best opportunity the Snipers have had this period. There was open net, but Nikitin just not quite able to get it through that 8-inch wide gap to the right-hand side of Damien Holland. It was there. He just couldn't quite get it in.
Yeah, just under the blocker, and that was Tashuma just say, "Don't worry, you have it, mate. Don't worry."
Oh, cut it in the hole. You got to get in the net.
Yeah, he wasn't 100% sure on that one, but the puck stayed out, and he still, made 13 straight saves for Damien Holland. So that was Ruddle there, looking for the puck from Burke, but wasn't able to collect it. And Subert's going to now send that up to Nikitin, who deflects that deep, and he's going to battle hard against Stringer. But Stringer for the Dogs, able to keep it, but nice support there by Clark, and he's going to chip that up the half wall.
Not isolated in defence for Jazov circling around. This is dangerous.
So here we go. It's a 2-on-1 for the Dogs. 3-on-1 now with Stringer at the back. So on the high slot for Stringer over to Vrjasov, and a great save there by James. Vrjasov probably just a little bit too deep to cut the angle to allow James to make that save. It's going to come back to Stringer, who looked to send it through across to Burke, but that's intercepted there by the Snipers through Lazzarato. And with Burke just coming in offside, the Snipers able to collect it through Subert. So now McMahon, who's going to go for that alley-oop kind of pass, trying to go on net, but misses the net all the way down for icing.
Yeah, you could see that breakout there. McMahon, the only defensive player back, and the Dogs actually got a bit pedestrian when Vrjasov got that break. He slowed right down.
Yeah.
He might have been better off perhaps taking the shot, getting the rebound or a snap, sharper pass. It gave Mikey James a bit too much time to get composed.
Yeah, I think, Vrjasov came in, he saw the Stringer coming in on the high slot, thought he'd send it back to him. And then I think Vrjasov just kept creeping down into the corner, assuming Stringer would either take the shot for the rebound or send it over to Ruddle.
It's not like those boys to hesitate, is it?
No. But, great save there by James to keep this a 4-0 game. So Snipers now through Van Douwen, deep into the sniper zone, but Ruddle will get there back, and he's going to send that over there to Robertson to collect. So Robertson tried to feed that up to Burke, but deflection there by Lindsay Nash keeps the puck deep into the dog zone. But not much pressure there for Robertson, so without pressure, he's pretty smart with the puck, and he's going to drop that to Vrjasov, who has speed. So Vrjasov now just crossing the blue line, but doesn't see any opportunity, so he's going to curl back into his own zone and just being watched there by Lindsay Nash. He's going to drop that now for Robertson, who's now created space for himself and gets it up to Burke. Burke holding at the point.
Floating around leap,
Yeah.
floating by the back. There he is.
So there we go. So Burke over to Verjasov. Now Verjasov on the half wall with the backhand pass to Burke. Nice little pass over to Robertson, over to Verjasov. Washed by Sincata. Nice little curl drag, deflection, and goal. There we go. What a goal. Let's see the CCM replay. Did Burke get a touch on this, or was that deflected off a sniper there? So nice curl and drag. And yeah, deflection, and that was actually, it looks like Ruddle. So Ryan Ruddle deflects it, and that's going to give him 3 goals for the night, and that's the hat trick. I'm not sure the coaching staff of the Snipers will be tossing off their gorgeous hats.
They
but
won't be very pleased about that, no. But just lately, I think the Snipers running out of legs in defence, and they've dropped their heads. You can see they're going through the motions now.
Great job by Ruddle in front to get his stick on it, but an even better play there by Verjasov just on the top of the circles, just able to curl and drag just to create that shooting lane on Sincata, who was watching him closely. So we're up to 5-0, which we know the Dogs can score, and it looks fairly academic now for the rest of this third period with 5 minutes left. The Dogs will remain undefeated for the PHL regular season, and the Snipers will be all sitting up in the bar later watching the next game to see if they'll be playing next week.
Well, I think this is where they need to get a goal, not only for their own pride, but also if they do make it through, and there's a strong possibility they will, they're going to come up against either the Bruins, or will certainly come up against the Bruins if they make it through the next round, and then they get another chance at the Dogs. If they can score a goal now, it's not going to change the result of the game, but it will give them some pride and also a little bit of a G up. They've only scored 1 goal against the Dogs throughout the entire system, although they've had a number of opportunities. They really need to get that goal in.
There's Lockie Sincata now, dangerous in front, but he had the handles there to get it past, and just look for that stretch pass to Clark, and he just missed it. And you can see a little disappointed in himself there, not able to.
It was a good pass. I think that was pretty much the perfect option there for Sincata.
That's for sure.
Just not quite able to finish it off, but that's what they need to do. They need those stretch passes to get around that neutral zone trap. They can't just keep chipping it over the top and hoping for a little dribbler to go through Damien Holland's hands. It's not going to happen.
No, for sure. And they need to get more pucks on net against the Dogs. 13 shots on such an experienced goalie like Holland isn't going to do much, but here they come. So Jeff Yu, the defenseman, now going one-on-one there against Morris, and he's going to only get that as far as the corner. So battling there is Yu, still with the puck. On the backhand, looks in front to Clark with a shot, but a kick save there by Holland. So the Snipers having a look, but
this is dangerous.
Yeah, that's the stretch pass. That's side. Nope. So not called offside there, but with the slight hesitation allowed the Snipers to collect the puck. So Clark sends it up to Lazzarato, not able to connect on that one, and we'll have another face-off brought down into the Sniper zone. So that's right there. That's exactly what we talk about when the Dogs start getting a lead. They just start looking for those stretch passes. They have such dangerous weapons up front.
You can see Burke in particular starts to float around the offensive blue line, just waiting for it to happen. Yeah. They've got enough of a buffer. It doesn't matter if he gets caught out every now and then, and he can take that risk.
That's for sure. So shot there by Morris gets deflected high into the corner to the right here of Mikey James. I guess to the point, but Kyle Joyce gets there first. But Van Dalen picks it up and sends it through to Lazzarato, who's one-on-one here with Morris. He's got Clark in the middle. On the rebound, shot, scores!
That's what they needed.
Bobby Clark with the goal, with a nice play there by Lazzarato to get that, we'll call it the old shot pass, which deflected off the pad right over to Bobby Clark, who throws it into the open net and cancels out that shutout for Damien Holland. So that's what they needed. Get shots on, look for those rebounds, and we've got a 5-1 game now.
That is exactly what they needed. It's not going to change the result, but it's going to change their spirit. And it means when they come into their next game, assuming they get one, that they're going to know they can do it at least. And that was really just a case of being in the right place at the right time. It wasn't a particularly fancy shot, but you get those rebounds, and there they are.
So here's Koenig now, hoping to get one back quickly for the Dogs. Rings it off the iron, rebound, scores! There we go. So a tough one there for the Snipers and Mikey James. A great shot by Koenig, ringed off the iron, came right back in frnt, and that was
it bounced off the back of him, didn't it, by the look of it?
Just
missed the replay.
Yeah, so just off the post, out in front, and then the shot in. So that negates the deficit, but
it's still a 5-goal game.
Still a 5-goal game, but unfortunate one there for Mikey James there. So we're back to 5 goals with minute 36 left. Let's see if we can add another one in the last minute.
And if you're a Snipers fan, you wouldn't want it to be for the Dogs.
Yeah, so here's McMahon curling, puts it in front, nice save there by Holland. And here's McMahon again chasing up his own rebound, gets it back to Monroe, who sends it into the middle.
You can see how deep the Snipers are pushing there in attack.
So here's
really
Robertson
take the chance.
with the shot, high.
And the Snipers had 5 players down in front of the face-off circles there on that forecheck, really trying to keep it in, but that obviously opens you up to the big counter-attack, and that's what the Dogs love, to get behind someone, and they're away.
So that's got back here now to the point for Robertson. He's going to send that in, and that's just going to go wide. He was looking for a deflection there by Koenig. So Stringer now activating from the point, gets it deep to Koenig. Koenig over to Tashuma, back down to Koenig. Koenig tried to pass, just missed the puck, but gets it back to Tashuma. Tashuma now on the half wall, cross ice pass there to Stringer, who just wasn't able to get a shot off, but he's going to still collect the puck and send that through over to his teammate in Dixon. So Dixon just drops it there to Tashuma, looked in front, and here's one last chance for the Snipers through Monroe. So Monroe on the far side, being watched by 2 Dogs, tried to find Lazzarato in the middle, but just misses and goes down to the corner for Kahu Joyce to pick it up. So here comes Kahu, tips it off the boards, up to Koenig, and here's Tashuma. So Tashuma now tries to curl it through the legs of the defender, but the Sniper is able to support and collect that puck.
5 seconds to play.
So 5 seconds remaining, puck shot down the ice. Bennett's going to pick that up, take that behind his own net, and that'll be it. So that's the end of round 9 for these 2 teams, the end of the regular season. The CCM Dogs remain undefeated with a big 6-1 win over the Snipers, who will all be sitting up in the bar tonight watching this game that's coming up between the Inferno and the Bruins to see who plays next week in our final.
And that's exactly right, Anton, because we've got 2 teams now on 5 points and 4 points. The Snipers with 5 points and the Inferno with 4, but the Inferno with a game to play. If the Inferno can beat the Bruins, or even if they tie with them and go to a penalty shootout, then it gets interesting. But if the Inferno can beat the Bruins, then they make their way into the playoffs. Otherwise, the Snipers will make it through. So the next round is now absolutely not a dead rubber. It's 100% live. The Bruins don't need to win it, but Inferno most certainly do. And I was talking to... oh golly, there goes my brain. I've forgotten the name. I was talking to some of the guys from the Inferno last night, on Wednesday night, at training here, and they were talking about how they desperately wanted to win it as well to make sure they got through. They do want to play finals. No one wants to miss that out and be a spectator. So we'll be coming back in about 15 minutes or so when the Bruins will be playing the Inferno, and that is a live rubber for the Inferno, a lot at stake for them. So until then, we will take a break while the ice gets cut and the teams get themselves ready, and we'll see you back in about 15 minutes.